everybody. I'm going to do a quick intro of how to register for war for new players to make it a little bit simpler. So here I am in on the Union screen. Please forgive me for my Union name. This is an alt account that I have, so I'm just in a random Union. Please don't judge me. Okay, so you scroll over to the right. And you want to find this Flaming Union War banner. You tap on it. You come onto the first screen, and we'll go over this stuff in a second, but the important thing is down here, the flaming flag registration. You tap on that on the bottom right, and then this is the war registration page. So basically the only thing that you need to do to add yourself to war is to press that big plus sign in the middle, like that, bloop, and now I'm registered. Now again, because this is an alt in a dead union, there's nobody else registering for war. You need to have 3 people registered for war before you can participate. But if I had those 3 people, then I would also now be able to donate diamonds and grain. And those give buffs to your defense. This is where grain comes in. If you've been wondering like why you have grain at all, this is why you're using it. It's super important, and you definitely want to get your donations up as high as possible. Check in with your union leader to see exactly what they want you to do. The only thing to really know with this with the diamond and grain donations is that even though you have the levels, every little bit counts, so you don't have to worry about getting up to a particular level, or if you're going to fall a little bit short, maybe you have like 99% of a level, that's just as good, so you don't have to worry about that. And then up here at the top, those are some specific numbers about HP and power. But again, you probably don't need to worry about that unless you're a union leader. And if you're a union leader, you probably don't need this video. So let's go into my lineup, mods lineup, so we can take a look at this. So the really silly thing that the game does is the first time that you register for war, it sets you up backwards. So if you'll notice here, my biggest vizier is up here in the top left. That is the exact opposite place of where you want it. You want it down at the bottom right. And you just do that, switch by selecting it, so you get that fire, and then selecting the vizier that you want to switch. So the first time that you set up your war lineup, this is another thing that you want to check with your union leader, but pretty much everyone ever starts with a pretty straightforward lineup, which is you start with your weakest vizier up here, in this garrison vizier in the top row. So I would have then, another weak vizier there. And then you just work your way from left to right, kind of like you're reading a book, until you end up with your strongest viziers down here in the bottom right. So it actually looks like I'm pretty close to doing that, so I'll leave it right there. There we go. So now you can see my weakest viziers are up at the top, strongest viziers down at the bottom. Another thing that you always also want to check is that if I select here, you can see down here where Zaganos just showed up. This is sort of your back bench, and you always want to check in there to make sure that you don't have somebody stronger that you should be bringing up into the fighting form. Okay. So that's the basics of how to set your lineup. The other thing to know on this screen are the scrolls. So it's the little scroll button. I wish I could show you where I'm pointing, but it's in the garrison vizier box in the upper right corner of each one of those garrison vizier boxes. So let me just tap on that. And this is the screen that'll come up. I don't have any scrolls, so I can't actually apply any. But here I would be able to tap either between Fazl or Davit, and be able to choose and apply a scroll if I wanted. Again, check with your union leader to see if they want you to apply scrolls, and if so, which ones and how and all that stuff. So I'm not going to get into scroll strategy here. Okay, that's everything there, everything here. And then to just briefly go over the stuff that's on this page, the ranking rewards gets you get prizes for your donations for your diamonds and grain. You also get rewards for your attack ranking, so all that's wonderful. In the store, this is where you acquire those scrolls that I just showed you that you don't have, that I don't have. Garrison scroll 1 and 2 are the sort of like standard best ones. You can do fancy stuff for the other ones, but like those are the standbys that are always going to do you well. And then if you come into the token store, these sort of gold star tokens, you acquire these by predicting the outcome of war correctly. So if you're watching this because this is your first war, you won't have any of these yet, but this will come later in the week. And you come over here into the predict, you get these coupons, and then there'll be an interface here that where you predict who you think is going to advance in the later rounds, and what you think their placement is. Darn it. Anyway, so I think that's the important stuff with Union War. I can't think of anything else, so hopefully that helped. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. All right, thanks, guys.